And we are recording. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Welcome to Precarious Pixels.
Hi.
Hi. I'm, as always, Tim from Precarious Pixels. And with me is...
Sometimes Bob.
Sometimes Bob. Superhost Bob is what we call him.
Superhost?
Superhost Ultimate Edition. Smashing Ultimate.
DX.
Deluxe. Exactly. Because it's
Definitive.
Definitive?
That's another one they've used.
Oh, that's true.
They've used DX, Deluxe, Definitive.
And Ultimate.
And Ultimate now. In their remix.
But,
Get wrecked, whoever's on that phone.
Yeah, exactly. But, if you're behind the times, E3 happened, along with a lot of other stuff that happened. But the big thing is the E3 conference, where everybody showed off their amazing new games. This is coming out. This is coming out. Oh, no, this isn't coming out because it's going to be another 2 years for that. But
there was some stuff
there's some
far out.
Yeah, there's some shenanigans going on, and I'd say like the first thing we're probably going to call out is probably the Sony for their shenanigans, because they did not impress.
Some of their stuff was very impressive.
Well, how many games did Microsoft announce?
I believe it was 58 games they brought out. 58 games, and they bought or now own 5 new studios. I don't know if you read that.
No,
I don't think we got to talk about that.
Oh, that's
great. They bought Ninja Theory, which I'm pretty hyped about.
I like that studio.
Yep, they own them now. Good luck with that one, Sony.
That's a mistake on Sony's part.
Hey, they shouldn't have let
along with their many others mistakes. So 58
new games, and Sony showed off, from what I can tell, 8, unless you count Black Ops 3, but I don't count a game that's 3 years old.
Yes. And that's not even like they just redid maps.
They redid maps from games that are older than 3 years, from older Black Ops games, and called them the best of, and they're a pre-order bonus for reserving Black Ops 4 digital, but guess what? Black Ops 4... probably not looking too strong if it doesn't have a single-player campaign. And you didn't bother to bring it to E3.
Yeah.
I don't think it showed anywhere. I don't think they showed it anywhere. Like, I watched the conferences. I watched the big 3. I watched Ubisoft, which of course it wouldn't have been at. And I watched, what was the other one I watched? Devolver, but that doesn't really count. And it wasn't at Microsoft, it wasn't at Sony in any observable way. And it wasn't at Nintendo. Honestly, when they didn't show it at Microsoft or Sony, I thought, you know what, it's going to be some crazy coup where Nintendo's going to announce it's coming to the Switch. Because why would it not, right?
Right.
The Switch is capable, especially when you're delivering 2/3 of a game.
Right.
But no, they just straight up ignored it. So I guess we're supposed to ignore it. So there were 8 games that Sony showed off.
Should we get to... we'll get to the... Well, we'll go out of their order, because their order was kind of messed up. Let's go to their bad announcements first. What was the first bad game they announced?
What, Sony?
Yeah.
Bad game? I don't know if it's bad. I don't think any of their games were bad.
Yeah. But, like, their most impressive one they kind of put first, didn't they?
Oh, well, they absolutely put their best one first. Well, I don't know. We'll go with games that I don't think are ever going to actually come out for 100. Ghosts of Tsushima?
Yes.
Looks amazing.
Right.
Possibly QuickTime Events the game.
Exactly. There's, like, it could be a great samurai game. I would totally welcome a kind of like open world with like a good story game to it, but don't know if that's what it's going to be. It looks beautiful. I mean, it looks like they took the time to really go very historically accurate, and everything looks amazing. There's a part where he's riding through a forest and he ducks under some trees and like opens up into like an open area with like samurai in the field and stuff. It looked great. I mean, everything looks accurate. And the lighting looks amazing on it too. Like there was a part where I think it was like like there's like leaves coming through or like it's like fall and like these orange leaves are like going through and it makes like just a beautiful like scenery to that game.
I think it'll be a beautiful game.
I don't know if it'll be a long game, but
I don't know. It's the Infamous guys. I'm trying to have faith.
Yeah, and they do good work. So I'm just like, I love the Infamous stuff. I never played the last one though. Was it the Second Son?
Second Son.
Yeah.
I like Second Son. I know a lot of people give it guff for not having Cole.
Yeah.
The main character, but I really had fun with it. It was, to be honest, the reason I got a PS4 when I did, because I didn't get it at launch, because Killzone, as many good reviews as you give it, it's a pretty looking game that's basically not much there.
Right.
And I wasn't buying it for knack.
Okay.
So I ended up getting the system with pretty looking games that weren't much there on Xbox, which was Rise and Dead Rising 3.
Right.
That's why I got that at launch. And then, of course, Sony won the beginning anyway because Microsoft shot themselves in the foot with a bad E3 conference.
Right.
Which brings us back around to Sony's E3 conference.
So, the Ghost of Tsushima, or I'm thinking of
Sushi Striker, The Way of Sushido.
Ghost of Tsushima. Sushi Striker.
That's a game!
I know. But that looks good. When actually people get to play it and review it, I think it's more when we get a better view of that. But yeah. I think it looks great. I hope it does really well for them.
I look forward to seeing it in 2020.
Yes, when it's done.
Because I think it's going to be one of those God of War things. They show really cool gameplay, and then wait 2 years and you'll see it.
Right, exactly. But God of War was a good game, so hopefully it follows that kind of path.
I mean, I have faith in that developer, so we'll see.
Yeah. And what was the other ones?
The other game that we'll never see?
Sure.
Death Stranding.
Death Stranding.
That's Kojima Unhinged, the game.
That's right. It's called Norman Reedus as a delivery boy in the future.
Yeah, he's Fry from Futurama.
In fact, he almost has Fry's hair. He just stuck it up. Like, it's long enough, he could just stick it up in the front. He'd totally be Fry.
Yeah, he should just dye it orange.
Exactly.
Somebody needs to write a letter to Kojima. Just change the paint.
Yeah. And tell him to stop, putting babies in bottles. I have no idea why he's into swallowing babies or putting babies in bottles or...
He's a wacky dude.
Yeah, I don't know. It's such a weird game. I have no idea what it really is. It is wacky beyond belief. I'm sure it'll do good. I mean, he's got enough of a fan base, I think, that people will get it. And it looks amazing. There's a part where Norman Reedus is walking down a mountain, and the mountain looks like a real mountain. It doesn't look like a fake mountain in a CG game. It looks really well done. I have no idea how they do some of the stuff they do, but it looked very good. And it's open world, so I found that pretty impressive.
We shall see when it gets finished.
We shall see when it gets finished. But
when it comes out on PS6.
Exactly. It looks really impressive. I don't know if the gameplay is going to be that great. It looked like a lot of balancing boxes on your back, which, sure, I don't know what the whole story is.
You do when you're Norman Reedus.
Yeah, and there's invisible monsters who can only be seen by babies.
And with little satellites.
Little satellites
stick up out of your spacesuit that you sometimes need.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really understand the whole thing of it. And then there's you have to cover your mouth or they're going to see you. I have no idea what's going on.
I get the feeling Colorado's really going to like this game.
Yeah, it's definitely wacky. It's confusing, and sometimes that's just how he makes his game. So we'll see how it goes. It might be like a smash hit. We don't know. But so that looked okay. What were the other ones?
Okay, so the smaller ones they announced that aren't really small, but that they showed off and put no focus on.
Right.
Resident Evil 2 Remake,
right,
which looks solid. Kingdom Hearts 3, which was, from what I can tell, almost the exact same thing shown at the Microsoft conference, although at Sony they seem to have added the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Right.
Control, or as I like to call it, Quantum Fake.
Okay.
I coined that. don't rip it off. Because it's Remedy Software, the guys who made Alan Wake and Quantum Break. And it looked, as I was watching the trailer, I actually said, this looks like Quantum Break. And then, sure enough, Remedy Software.
Right.
And it's the same guys. It's just they changed the lead character to a woman instead of a man.
Right.
Before it was Iceman. Was it Sean Ashmore, is it?
I think so, yeah.
Crazy that I remember that, if that's true.
No.
If it's not true, then it's good that I didn't remember it, because he disappeared, right?
Who's Sean Ashmore?
Yeah.
I forget, the last thing I saw him on was like The Following with Kevin Bacon.
Last thing I saw him on was a ski lift, freezing to death, and then jumping off to save a girl and getting eaten by wolves, hilariously. In a movie called Frozen, starring the Iceman.
No, it is not called that.
I believe it's called Frozen.
Let It Go?
No, I think I think it has the same name.
Does it?
Yeah, the one about the two guys and a girl that get stuck on a ski lift.
And then they build a snowman.
They don't build a snowman.
They do.
They do meet some wolves.
Yes.
So if that happened in Frozen,
it did. Wolves did attack a sled in Frozen, if I remember correctly.
Unfortunately, I didn't watch that movie.
I think you've seen that movie several times.
I think I've heard it several times. My niece loves it.
Exactly.
I'd have to look up the name of it, but I'm pretty sure I'm right about this.
Yeah. Sean, he finds a
talking snowman
who
wants to see the summer.
That's right.
Yeah.
And a guy with a reindeer.
Either way, they added Frozen into Kingdom Hearts 3 as well at E3. I think that was the first time they showed that.
I'm sure.
Control is the name of that Remedy Software game. And they announced Neo 2, which I'm pretty hyped about, though it is quick. I think that's like 16 months after Neo 1.
Okay.
Probably early?
Yeah.
Because they only had the DLC, I think 3 or 6 months after the game came out, so...
Okay.
I don't know.
Was it successful enough at the beginning to warrant kind of...
yeah, it was absolutely successful right away.
Okay. I could see them starting up it's something that they need to jump like more games for their system.
That's not Sony first party.
Okay.
I want to say that's Tecmo Koei. Maybe? Not 100%.
Okay.
And then, of course, the last two were the other big titles they showed. Spider-Man.
Oh, of course. Huge.
Featuring the Sinister Six and a mystery person at the end.
Which, if it isn't the Green Goblin or...
I think it's going to throw you.
It's either going to be Venom, the Green Goblin, Carnage, or some... unless it's like Thanos. For some random reason.
They're just going to throw in Thanos in the Spider-Man
game.
Hey,
we let you use Spider-Man in your movie. We're going to use your villain in our game. No, I don't know who it could be. It could be like a bunch of people.
I think it's Mysterio.
You think it's Mysterio?
I think it's going to be Mysterio.
He's not big enough. Nobody knows who Mysterio is. I mean, they know who he is.
They know who he is.
But
that's the point.
In Sinister Six stuff, I mean, he's been in there, but honestly, I'm really hoping it's somebody bigger than that.
You know what? I'm sick of fighting Green Goblin. I'm sick of chasing him around on his stupid speeder bike, whatever you want to call it.
His glider?
Yeah, whatever. How many times have I fought him in the city? Webbed up his stupid pumpkin bombs and thrown them at him.
That's right.
There's countless Spider-Man games. Let me fight somebody new. Let me get in a fist fight with a glass dome.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's Spider-Ham.
That would be awesome. You know what? You win. Never mind.
Spider-Ham shows up.
Spider-Ham as the villain.
As the villain would be really funny.
I'd settle for the Simpsons ripoff of Spider-Pig.
Oh.
From the movie? Where he just has him walk across the ceiling as just a normal pig.
Yep. Love it.
And then, of course, they had the other big reveal at the beginning, which was, do you remember? They showed it off at a church.
Oh, yes. You want to go into that first? Like, they decided to have banjos playing and amazingly built, like, a church.
They built a church to introduce this game, which how much...
I don't even know why.
Because the greatest game ever made. We'll see it someday.
Okay. But
to get on their level, Tim.
But I don't even know
If
what
you
this game
don't
has to
respect
do
this
with
game-
the church.
If you don't respect this game, you're a sexist. Bear with me, because that was actually one of the arguments I saw on
Really?
the Reset Era forums. Because, despite the fact that it had already happened in the DLC for Last of Us 1,
Right.
Ellie's a lesbian. Who cares? It's 2018.
Yeah.
But if you don't respect how much they're devoting to this game, then you're sexist, because they showcase that in the trailer. And I'm sure there are people out there that are just scumbag idiots
Right.
who are insulting the game based on the fact that she's a lesbian. Who cares?
And who knows if she's lesbian? She could be bisexual. You don't know.
She could be.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. The game is going to be solid, amazing, and super gory.
Yeah.
Unnecessarily gory.
Oh, hugely gory.
And that's my problem with the trailer.
The first trailer they showed, I remember they were like hanging somebody.
They...
Well, wasn't it her? It might actually have been her they were hanging.
No. Well, maybe in the first trailer?
The first trailer.
I don't think I ever saw that one. I saw the trailer where she was playing guitar.
Yeah. And I think there was one other one where it was like, it showed her like hanging. It was a cinematic trailer. It wasn't like a gameplay trailer.
Yeah, this was the first gameplay.
And then somebody like showed up and I think like attacked them or something happened, and then she was able to get free. And there's a lot of like her putting the claw end of a hammer into somebody's head. Like there's a lot of like crazy stuff that happens in this game.
Well, in this one, somebody gets eviscerated.
Oh yeah.
And the intestines fall out.
Yeah. While hanging.
While hanging, and I'm thinking to myself, this doesn't need to happen. I don't think this is going to be what sells your game, and I get what they're going for, which is it's such a dark place for her to go, because in the gameplay footage they show, it leads in to, I assume, this memory.
Right.
When she has her kiss with this girl.
Right.
It leads into this memory of her getting in this big brutal bit of combat.
Right. Which is gameplay.
Which is gameplay footage.
Yeah.
And then that's the only gameplay footage is really dark stuff.
Right.
But I don't feel that you need to have it be that jarring.
Yeah.
Because Last of Us 1 was plenty rough. You can do rough, and you don't have to be over-the-top excessive.
Right.
Especially not if you want to reach a broad audience.
And you should show, like, besides just, like, combat and in a game, like, what other stuff is actually you're going to be doing, because it sets a bad precedent.
Not bad precedent, whatever.
Precedent. But it sets it... yes. But it just shows that, like, well, is this the only thing I'm going to get to do in this game, is just constantly trying to survive against, like, hordes and hordes of enemies? Or is there, like, more of a story involved, which is kind of what Last of Us really had going for it. I mean, a great story.
And that's the other thing I'm worried about.
Yeah.
Is that everything felt incredibly scripted in that demo.
Yeah. Yeah, there was some stuff I was just like, this seems too, like, it was, like, she was dispatching enemies. Yeah, she took some hits, but it was mainly, like, she was running and jumping, and, like, then she, like, oh, look, there's a bottle here. I'm going to grab that and throw it, and, like, jumping on this counter, and I know...
Grab this person just in time to turn them, and they get shot?
Exactly. There's a lot of that stuff, and I was like, it seems a little too, like, you know you've played through this either a bunch of times or you ended a certain way. I don't know.
But there's no way that works unless it's perfectly set up that way in-game.
Right.
In which case, then they built a game around QuickTime events.
Right.
They're just not calling it that. It's gameplay that leads up to QuickTime events, and I don't know. But I think it'll be solid as long as they don't tamper with it too much.
Yeah.
I do think that The Last of Us 2 could probably be what I call a soft M.
Right.
Where it was just the violence. It doesn't need to be excessive violence, which is what they're going for this time. Also, there was one other thing missing from that entire gameplay demo.
What?
Not one single clicker. Not one single monster.
That was kind of strange. I was like, is this saying that has ended and now it's about the people? But I don't think so. I think that those clickers are still around.
You would think? I mean, they had started to decay to the point of paralysis, some of them, in the first
Right.
one. I don't know. They've been intentionally vague when it comes to the plot of this, but if it's just survival against other people, I don't know if it's going to be as interesting to me.
Yeah, because that seems way too Walking Dead. That seems like way too much into like what Walking Dead really like is about, like just groups of people interacting and how that, certain people just kind of like give in to like their worst habits or whatever you want to say.
It is the road.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely like the road heavily influenced this game. But I don't know. I want to kind of see something that's a little bit more long form than just like some combat stuff.
It'll be really cool to see that in spring of 2020.
Of 2020.
I assume that most of what they showed at this conference isn't coming out for 2 years.
Maybe. I don't know. Have they said that they wanted to do this like in?
They haven't given a date.
They haven't given a date.
I mean, originally it was next year, I believe, when they showed it 2 years ago.
Okay.
So not 2017. It doesn't seem to be 2018.
I don't know.
And they didn't put a date on it, so probably not 2019. Days Gone is February 22nd. They
Right.
didn't bother to show that at their conference, aside from in a sizzle reel.
Right. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that goes, and hopefully they'll show some more stuff and it'll come out sooner than later.
Yes.
I'm hoping for release like 2019. I don't think it'll be this year,
Oh, it's not going to be.
but I'm hoping it'll be 2019. They'll actually have it ready.
If it's 2019, then it'll be spring or fall. It won't be summer.
Probably.
I think you're likely to see a release date like God of War did, like in
Okay.
April, because that was a really hard-hitting game for them. So I think if it's done, that's more likely. But to be honest, I think Days Gone is probably gonna get pushed to April.
Okay.
But we'll see. I might be wrong. I don't think anything that was announced for February 22nd is coming out February 22nd.
So anything else you want to say about Sony?
Just that they're little pompous.
Yeah.
And you probably should always think about your fans, because if you don't think about your fans when you're ahead, then you lose them.
That's right.
And it's happened countless times. It happened with Microsoft. People switched from 360 to One.
Yep.
I'm sorry, 360 to PS4 because they thought they were too good to listen to the fans. Then they tried to get them back, and they'll never catch up.
Yeah.
Like, it'll never happen. But we could say one other thing about Sony relating to a Nintendo thing.
Okay.
Fortnite.
And this is where I know why they're doing it, but this screws over your fans so hard.
They're protecting the kids, Tim.
They're not protecting anybody.
Don't you understand that they're protecting the kids?
Protecting.
So Fortnite has crossplay
Right.
on just about everything.
And you can play it on any system.
You can play it on anything. You can play it on your phone.
Right.
You can play it on your phone with people on an Xbox.
Right.
How crazy is that?
Which is amazing. It's a great idea.
But you know what you can't do? Play it on your Switch if you've ever had an Epic Games account on a PlayStation. Like, linked with PlayStation 4. Because then you would be able to get your stuff that you bought on PlayStation on other consoles, and vice versa.
Right.
And you're not good enough for Sony's money.
Yeah.
Even though you've already paid them, or, you might pay them more. So I, as a fan, if I'm somebody who's played Fortnite, which I absolutely have,
Right.
I will never set up another Epic Games account with Sony.
Right.
And I will never support anything relating to Sony and their shenanigans with crossplay.
It's just they want to get people to come over to their system.
Yeah, they're trying to force you into it.
On one game. And it's ridiculous because when the game is available everywhere else and nobody else is doing that, it just shows that you're greedy. You're greedy because you think that you have enough pull that you can pull fans away from other things and other systems. And sure, your fans are going to play it on your system, but people that like own Switches, that like own Xboxes or any of this stuff, they're not leaving their systems to go to your system. It's just not going to happen. Nobody's going to be like, oh, for Fortnite, I have to buy a whole new system? Sure, of course I'll do that. It's ridiculous. Unless you already own a PlayStation 4, you're not going to switch anything up.
How many times do you think in the history of technology has limiting people ever worked out well for the person that's doing the limiting?
It never does.
So why would Sony think it does?
They just have that. They think that they'll be able to do it with their system. And
it worked out well for them with Amazing Spider-Man, right? Like, we don't want to help out Marvel. Like, we don't want to sell them back.
Right.
Amazing Spider-Man 2, that did so well at the box office, right?
Right.
Oh, God, Marvel, please help us.
Yes. Yeah. They've yeah.
That's just a Sony example.
Exactly, because honestly, they kind of like really Marvel saved them, and they saved Spider-Man for their movies, because now Homecoming was such a success. I mean, they're definitely going to do several more of those.
Probably should have talked to them about Venom.
Really should have. They really should have.
Symbiotes.
Yeah, Symbiote. Oh man, I want to smack him. But then their animation company, they were smart, and they were like, Gendy Tartakovsky, run our animation company, which you can't get anybody better than that. And that's why you have Hotel Transylvania 3, I think, is coming out or whatever.
Is that really happening?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, Jesus.
And, but of course, like, Into the Spider-Verse, that's going to be coming out for them. And I think they have a couple other animation projects that do pretty well.
Did I ever tell you the story about how I saw Hotel Transylvania 1?
No.
I'll say it on the podcast.
Okay.
I went to see a movie by a director whose last film I had loved.
Okay.
All right? And this is going to be one of the most divisive statements that I ever say on this podcast.
Okay.
I loved the movie There Will Be Blood.
Oh, yeah.
And then I saw a preview of a new movie coming out with one of my favorite actors at the time.
Okay.
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Great actor.
And the King of the Whisper, Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And I got to about probably about halfway through The Master.
The Master. Oh, man. That is a tough watch.
And then I left. And I went to see Hotel Transylvania, and I enjoyed it.
I bet. It's a good movie.
Man, The Master is a rough film. I just thought we should go there. With a director whose name is almost the same name as the guy who directs the Resident Evil movies.
Really?
It's Paul Thomas Anderson. And
Oh.
the Resident Evil guy is Paul W.S. Anderson.
W.S. Anderson. Okay.
I like the guy who directs Resident Evil movies more than I like most of Paul Thomas Anderson's films.
Well, I mean, he does different type of movies.
I don't know. There Will Be Blood, and he did Punch Drunk Love, right?
I think so.
I like that one too.
Yeah.
But then the rest of it, man.
Oh, what was the one he did after The Master?
He did that Daniel Day-Lewis thing.
Oh, he did the Phantom Thread.
Yeah.
That is a rough watch as well.
Yeah, I'm not falling for it again. It's one of those things where you burn me too many times. So.
Yeah. It's tough. It's dense. Like there's good stuff in it, but I'm just like it's hard to watch some of it.
But you watched all of The Master?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
No way.
There's no making it through that movie.
And it's got great actors. It's got I think Amy Adams is in it.
Yeah.
And
yeah, Amy Adams, who you don't expect to be the cringiest actress ever, saying some stuff is just like, oh my god, what am I watching? How is this a movie?
Yeah.
Paul Thomas Anderson, you crazy.
Did he write that too?
I believe he did.
Okay.
I don't think he directs anything he hasn't written, to be honest.
Okay, that makes sense. Because I know he wrote Phantom Thread. So.
Yeah, he's a big old crazy man.
Right. He can do whatever he wants.
Apparently he can, but not a lot of people see it.
But people did see Hotel Transylvania. So
yes.
That's why there's a third one.
That's right. I don't see a Master number 3.
That's right.
Rest in peace.
But I forget how we even got on that. Oh, but Sony's
Because Sony's been sniffing their own farts, as I heard.
Yes, they are. But I'll tell you, who isn't? The guys behind Bloodborne.
Oh, FromSoft? I don't know, because I'm a little worried about the producers in this game.
I don't know. It seems like from what we saw, and we're talking about Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice.
Mm-hmm.
They had been teasing this for a while. It looks like one of their games.
It looks a lot like one of their games.
Yeah.
And I know they're making it. I know who's producing it.
Yeah.
And did you see who's producing it?
Isn't it EA?
No.
Oh wait, I thought it was EA.
It's not as bad as EA, but it's like the second worst.
Who is it?
Activision.
Oof.
Yep. Yep.
Not a great track record of stuff, but honestly, I would trust this studio. They seem to really know their stuff.
And I would trust Activision to market Sekiro.
Yes.
Better than EA would ever market something they produced for a third party.
Yes, absolutely. But I definitely think this is going to be a fun game. It looked amazing. The bosses, the characters in there looked amazing. The main character looks like it's a fun thing where you have like a Swiss Army based knife version of an arm.
Yep.
Just any crazy weapons you want or like equipment you need or whatever kind of come out of it.
Looks a lot like Bloodborne.
Bloodborne with maybe a little bit of Arkham Knight in there.
Yes.
Because there's definitely some like you shot like grappling hooks and you're climbing things. So
at first when they were showing gameplay, because I was streaming it, we background streamed it at work. So
okay.
I work in a video game store. I don't know if I've ever brought that up.
Yeah.
On the podcast, right? I don't think I have.
Maybe
I have. But we streamed it background so people could see it when they came in and they could be like, oh, look at that. That's cool.
Here's, put the pre-order down.
I looked up about 30 seconds through the trailer.
Okay.
And I was like, oh god, this isn't another Dynasty Warriors, is it? Because Dynasty Warriors 9 added that grappling hook.
Oh,
and
really?
Dynasty Warriors 9 is terrible. Yep.
Wow.
It's terrible. And I like the Muso games, the Warriors games.
Oh, yeah.
But 9 was rough. This added the grappling hook, and it looked amazing. I was like, they fixed Dynasty Warriors? I didn't think you could bounce back that quick. And then I saw more of it, and I said, oh my god, it's FromSoft.
Right.
Oh my god. It's Shadows Die Twice, which was the original teaser they gave for it.
Yes. And a lot of people thought this was going to be another Bloodborne game.
I knew it wouldn't.
I didn't think they would... not to say they won't do another Bloodborne game, but I think it's going to be a little bit more time until like that happens.
I hope they don't. I kind of feel like that is a perfect story.
Okay.
And I feel like you don't need to mess with it, and I feel like Sony will absolutely make them.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see, but they produced it, so they'll make them.
Yeah. But this one looked good.
Yeah.
It looked very solid. The fighting system looks like a lot of fun. The character designs look great. I mean, it's really kind of like something I think really special.
Yeah, I am ready to die a bunch of times.
Yes.
To a giant drunk man.
Yes, with like a giant. What was the weapon he had? I don't even remember.
I want to say it was like a mace, but he spits poison on it.
Yeah.
From his drunkenness.
Yeah. I don't even know. But there's definitely some fun, weird characters, which is kind of what they're known for. But yeah, definitely looks good. And of course, there's a lot of other stuff we'll talk about. But one of the other games that was announced, Anthem. Well, I mean, it's not like it's been announced, but they showed a little bit more. Still not 100%.
I beg to differ that they showed more.
Yeah, I'm still not 100% on it. They showed more of a cutscene kind of thing.
They brought out a writer and a asset designer or something else.
Right.
A creative director. And they talked. They had a nice little round table in EA's conference.
Right.
It was cute. While they looped the same 30 seconds over and over in the background.
Exactly. So they're not showing a lot. I don't know if this looks different enough for them, like to like there's other things it looks like.
They're getting on board late.
Yeah.
They're getting on board late to the Destiny train and not doing anything different.
Right. Like, it's like, oh, here's your, you're got these super armor kind of things that you wear and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, how is this any different than Halo? How is this any different than Destiny? It seems like the same thing, but they're not really showing a lot. It really doesn't look like something new. It's like your Iron Man or something, but not as cool.
The thing that kept me going with Destiny 2, more so than 1, to be honest, was the sense of humor to it.
Right.
The willingness to not take itself too seriously.
Right.
And I don't think BioWare has that with this. There's nothing about it that seemed like it had any semblance of self-deprecation or joking about it.
Right. Something you would hope that like something this would have. I mean, one of the best games I think it would make fun of itself all the time was Borderlands.
Yeah. I would have preferred if this had Borderlands writers
right
in Destiny's world.
Right.
Perfect.
Yeah. Which I think they are coming out. There's another Borderlands thing.
It would have been nice if they showed it.
Yeah. There's talks of it. But I don't know if that's going to happen.
They also, a lot of people were thinking they were going to show Mortal Kombat 11, and they didn't.
Well, they did show, what was that, like an anniversary edition or something like that?
I didn't even see that.
Okay. I thought there was like a thing, I think they showed something for like maybe an anniversary edition or something.
Maybe I missed it.
But yeah, like Anthem is not showing, I mean, they really haven't shown a lot yet, and they really need to kind of like sell people on it. But it is not impressing as of yet.
That comes out February 22nd, supposedly.
Really?
Yeah, the date that every game will get delayed from.
So we'll see how that goes. They also did show, this is from the Microsoft one, but Halo Infinite.
Yes.
Which could be a big open world Halo game. It looks like they're actually doing like an entire ring. Like, it looks like you're on an entire ring that you can like just go anywhere on.
That'd be awesome.
That would be amazing. I would love to see that.
I'm curious why they didn't just finish it out. Because it's the last of the trilogy. Because there were 2 trilogies. There's 1, 2, and 3. Where
right.
You would thought Master Chief.
Yeah.
And then the second trilogy was supposed to be 4, 5, and 6.
Right.
Why would they suddenly change it? And they kind of half changed it with Halo 5 because it wasn't just Halo 5. It was Halo 5 Guardians.
Right.
And now they're not even bothering with the 6. It's Halo Infinite, so they're forever, son.
Right.
Get on their level.
Exactly. It seems like they know that Halo is a big money maker for them.
They do. I don't know, though. I don't know if that was the best call. Because sometimes when you change the title,
right,
the implication is that it's an offshoot, a spin-off game.
Right.
As opposed to a continuation of what people know and love.
Yeah, I'm just not sure if this is like where this fits in the series. Obviously, Master Chief is in it because they kind of show his helmet and stuff, and he's standing there. But it could be good. We'll just see how it goes, and like hopefully it'll be a decent game at least. But they really just didn't show at like that much yet. So
no, they did not.
But,
they showed another cool indie game though that I love the first one of.
Oh yeah,
kind of indie. Ori and the Blind Forest has a sequel. Ori and the Will of the Wisp.
Oh okay,
Looks amazing.
Yeah.
I just wanted to bring that up. If you haven't played Ori and the Blind Forest yet, hey, that makes me sad. Go play it. It's an Xbox exclusive. It was probably the first real Xbox exclusive that you should truly own on that console because it came out something like 6 to 8 months after the console, and it's still one of the prettiest games on there.
Yeah.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
And it's not that complicated. Anybody can pick it up and play it.
It's side-scrolling too, right?
Yeah, it's a Metroidvania.
Yeah.
Which means it's 2D action platformer where you retrace your steps when you get new abilities.
Right.
But Metroidvania is a game term now.
Really?
So get over it. Yeah, it's a big thing. They've been using it for years.
Okay.
Metroid-like, Castlevania-like,
right.
Metroidvania.
Yeah. Which they actually had like another game that was kind of Castlevania-like they showed. But
Which one?
the Bloodstained.
Yes. I backed that on Kickstarter, so it'll be
Yeah.
cool to see that when it comes out.
Yeah, and it does. It looks like pretty much Castlevania side-scrolling with like more of a 3D element to it, and yeah, I think it looks good. I hope they make 1 billion of them.
I hope it doesn't turn into another Mighty Number 9.
Yeah, that is something that I do worry about. Because,
Thankfully, I didn't back that one.
yeah, that was kind of like a mistake.
You think?
But speaking of Mega Man, so the big announcement from Nintendo, I mean, they had a few games they announced, but the big one was Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Edition, which is...
I thought you were going to say Star Fox showing up
Oh.
in a different space shooter game.
Yes, I did see that they had the Star Fox thing showing. But I was like, okay, Star Fox. Sure.
Why is it there?
Sure. But yeah, so Smash Brothers, they're huge money making game. I mean, they know that they can just print money with Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
And this one, they were just like, well, we're gonna put everybody in it. So every fighter except for Waluigi.
Waluigi. But he was never in any of them. No, he's never been in one. People are all mad, like he deserves to be there, but he was never in one.
he was in the first one.
No.
He was not in the first game?
He's never been in a Smash Brothers. Never.
Okay. Then they're wrong. Then they should not...
They're just upset because he's a Nintendo character that's not there. But guess what? There's Nintendo characters that aren't there. Get over it.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. But,
grab your tissue box. You'll be here a while.
But it does have pretty much everybody, like Dr.
Where's
Mario.
Cranky Kong?
What?
Where's Cranky Kong?
Cranky Kong?
Yeah, the oldest Kong.
No.
He's not in it.
No, don't need him.
I'd rather have him than Waluigi.
They got Donkey Kong. They don't need him.
They have Diddy Kong too. They don't have Dixie. They have Sonic, but not Tails, okay? So get over it. Waluigi's not in it. We cannot be perfect. He'll be DLC.
Okay.
Let's be honest with ourselves.
Probably will be. I'm sure they're going to add more fighters, just to keep it like expanding out and out and out.
Oh yeah, it's a crazy amount of fighters.
Yeah, but let alone like they say that most of the fighters are going to be unlockable, so it's just a matter of like fighting through it, and then you get more and more fighters. But
almost like the way it used to be when you played a game.
Exactly, instead of having to pay for DLC and stuff. But it looks impressive. I mean, it's the same Smash Brothers that has always been there, but it has all their characters, even the new ones. They have like the new version of Link, where it's like, he's the Breath of the Wild Link. They have like the mini Link. They have like the Ocarina of
His little bow and pink dress.
Exactly. They have I think it's like the Ocarina of Time Link. They have Zelda in her two forms, like the
Zelda
Samus.
and Sheik.
Yeah, they have Samus and the Zero Suit art.
They're two different characters.
Which I don't get how that works, but sure.
Toon Link, who's the cartoon one that you're thinking of,
right,
with Mini Link, and then there's Young Link,
and
then there's Link.
Right.
But they've always been different characters.
Right.
Toon Link and Link have actually been, I think, for the last 2 games, separate characters.
Yeah, I think so.
They play differently too.
Yeah. So you get different fighting options, and then I'm sure there's going to be a ton of Pokemon, because it seemed like they had dumped like a bunch of Pokemon in there.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Guess what? Not all the Pokemon are there either.
No, of course not.
So
exactly.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Stop whining.
But then they also throw in like what was it, the isn't it like there's the sports guys from
the Me guys.
The Me guys, Me Sports, the yoga
Wii Fit trainer?
The Wii Fit trainers.
She's been a staple since the last one. She's
which
a beast.
Which I'm just like, how is that a fighter? She does yoga.
She'll hit you with an exercise ball. She doesn't mess around.
But yeah, so they've added everybody: Kirby, Mario, Peach, like everybody they could think of. Snake, Metal Gear Snake.
Snake's back. Konami cares.
Sure. And like I guess every version of Mega Man too that showed like a like X and like the other versions of Mega
Different
Man.
skins.
Yeah, and even Proto Man, I think I saw in there. So it's if you love that game, I don't think you'll be disappointed with like.
Did you watch the end of it when they announced the other character?
No, what was the?
Because you had seen probably the Inklings were in it from Splatoon.
Yeah, Splatoon.
Ridley, the dragon from Metroid,
Oh.
is going to be playable.
Oh, I didn't see that. I don't
Yeah.
think.
They showed it at the end. It's giant. I don't know how it's going to work. But it's not going to matter because Little Mac is going to smack the crap out of it.
Which I think it's funny that Little Mac's in there.
I love, like, that's the main that I have in Smash. I have dived off the map so many times with him now because he has his charge punch.
Okay, right.
It's very risk reward.
Right. You land it, you're knocking somebody out.
Yeah.
But if
you miss it, you're
falling.
taking a dive.
Yeah, you're taking a fall. But yeah, it seems like they're including a lot of characters. Like even like I think there's some Fire Emblem characters in there.
There's been, yeah.
Yeah, and that's usual.
Xenoblade, Shulk.
Yeah, they throw in a lot of like I think what is it, Cloud? Cloud?
Cloud. You know who else is in it? Bayo.
Oh yeah, Bayo.
She was in the last one.
Right.
Man, it's like crazy.
Is that her name? Is it Bayonetta?
Bayonetta.
They call her
That's
Bayo?
actually her name. I call her Bayo. A lot of people do. 'Cause
Okay.
It's short.
Yeah, but Bayonetta's in there. Yeah, I was surprised that she was. I was
She's
like,
an
okay.
Umbran witch, you know.
She's a what?
An Umbran witch.
Sure.
Google it.
Okay.
Bayonetta, Umbran witch.
All I know is she uses her hair for everything.
Yeah, that's her hair. Don't mess with it. You can get either her short hair costume or her long hair costume.
Right.
Never played her in Smash because it's Little Mac all the way.
That's right.
Little Mac in the green like mocap suit.
Really?
Yep. It's
Why?
It's like green lines.
Okay.
That's how I fight as Little Mac.
All right. That is your choice.
So if you ever fight against him online, it's probably me because
That's
nobody
right.
else plays Little Mac.
Nobody?
I mean, I'm sure somebody does, but nobody plays him and loses him with him like I do.
Yeah.
I could talk. It happened.
Yeah, but we'll of course be talking some more stuff as soon as they finalize a lot of things. I mean, there was a lot of indie titles that we saw that were really good. We'll maybe go into those next week. Talk to you about that. Also, next week, Jurassic World 2 comes out. Is it Fallen Kingdom?
Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
That's right. So excited to see that because you're my boy, Blue.
Oh my god, I make that joke all the time. At
Nobody
work, and nobody
gets it.
They're all millennials.
Ah, that's sad.
Yeah.
People should watch
And
the movie.
I tell them all the time, like, how do you not get this? If you haven't seen the movie, see the movie.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? It's arguably Will Ferrell's greatest movie.
Yeah.
It's definitely Vince Vaughn's greatest movie.
Oh yeah, definitely. And what's his name?
Owen Wilson?
Not Owen Wilson. What's
Luke Wilson.
Luke Wilson's in it.
The Wilson that didn't have problems.
Yes.
Which is weird because it's the Wilson with the worst career. Is that strange?
Yeah. No, that's weird. But we're going to be tying it up here. But we'll give you a full review of the movie when we see it. I think in 2 weeks, Ant-Man and the Wasp 2?
Yeah, it sounds right.
Yeah.
It was
So
July.
this has been a crazy summer for movies, Deadpool 2 and all this stuff. So, as always, I'm Tim Martinek for Precarious Pixels. You can find me at Tim Martinek on Instagram.
And I'm Bob Martin. And you can find me on the Twitters at Bob_Martin, MARTON. And you can watch me tweet stuff, I guess.
Yeah. And we always hashtag our stuff, Precarious Pixels. You can find us on Spreaker, iTunes, and of course, wherever you can get I think we're also on, what's the other one?
The
now?
Tubes of You.
Yes, YouTubes. YouTubes. Like there's two of them. Oh, I'll have to give you a review of, I watched Cobra Kai.
Oh, yeah?
It's actually, I was surprised how good it was.
I have a family member-in-law who says it's like the greatest thing that ever happened. He watched it like twice.
Wow.
And then
That's
I
impressive.
judged him.
What?
I judged him.
I didn't
and
watch it
found
twice.
him wanting.
But but when I was sick, it made a good watch. But yeah, it's pretty decent. Maybe we'll give a review for that next week.
Sounds good.
But as always, rate us, give us a review. If you want to get in contact with us, you can always contact us through our YouTube channel or iTunes.
And say what you think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not to a fault.
Okay.
If you're gonna give us a stupid opinion, then you probably shouldn't talk.
Wow, you're just really.
I just want to alienate everyone.
Yeah, you're just lining us up for failure. We're definitely gonna get trolled.
No, you're not gonna get stupid opinions.
All right,
there is no stupid opinion.
All right, but we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye, guys.
To do a little redesigning with us, you can find Bob at Martin MARTON_BOB on Twitter, and you can find me on Instagram at Tim Martinek, all one word, TIMMARTINEC. And you can join in us, have some fun, do your redesigns for this week's redesign. It's a lot of fun for us to do this, but we like to see fresh ideas and fresh artists like doing what they do as well. You can also hashtag it Precarious Pixels and we'll find it as well.